As a clone, apparently there's this thing spreading around where people are saying that the person that's actually in jail is not the real Diddy. Let me catch you up to speed. This is a real photo of Diddy. Notice the markings on his face? They're very prominent, and they are from the real Diddy. However, in this mugshot right here, you do not see these markings at all, so people are claiming that whoever is in jail, allegedly, supposedly, is not the real Diddy. This photo always terrified me. There's just something off about this photo. To make matters even more weird, Diddy's private jet is still flying around as we speak and making stops in various locations around the world. Just a few days ago, his private jet was spotted at Auckland Airport, a spot normally reserved for private aircraft. This is from the account Celebrity Jets. They're actually tracking P. Diddy's private jet flight path, and this is when it was landing at New Zealand. And 2 days ago, it was at Honolulu, Hawaii. This is the actual private jet that Diddy owned, and you can see him getting off this private jet.
Kanye West is stirring the whole industry again after dropping a wild statement claiming that Diddy didn't just walk into Fort Dix, he supposedly sent in a clone to take his place. Kanye said the person locked up right now isn't the real Diddy, and the newest leaked footage has people losing their minds over how strange everything looks. And while this chaos is unfolding, 50 Cent is stepping in with his own voice, especially after Diddy reportedly hit him with a cease and desist over that new docuseries that puts a spotlight on every detail surrounding him. This situation is getting louder by the minute. TMZ recently dropped some leaked clips allegedly showing Diddy inside Fort Dix talking with prisoners.
We got video of him at Fort Dix reporting for work in the library, where he is making recommendations and handing out different movies and books for his fellow inmates.
I'm really fascinated just by the library
But
itself.
you're seeing him here. This is him reporting to work, taking off his jacket, taking off his scarf, and settling in for a day on the job.
It looks like a public school library.
Yeah.
This was the chapel, and this is the media library in the chapel, which is where Diddy's currently working. He's working in a Life Connections program, which is an 18-month program that helps rehab people and get them closer to spirituality, to charity groups, and with that, it will shorten his sentence. But in this media library, he helps inmates with religious material, rent out movies, that kind of stuff. You see him pushing a
really
cart
interesting.
with a TV on it.
Yeah, I mean, he was in the laundry room when he first got there.
Yeah,
This got to be
his first
This got to
assignment.
be a promotion.
Yeah.
It feels like a promotion. It feels like maybe he tried the lunchroom and put in a request for something different.
Yeah, it does
I mean,
believe
he is a
it does
media
sound like
mogul.
he used maybe possibly some connections to get a better job.
But instead of giving clarity, the footage only created more confusion. People froze the frames and zoomed in, pointing out how the person in the video had details that didn't line up with Diddy at all. The skin markings were off, the face shape felt different, and even the overall energy looked unusual, like somebody trying way too hard to move the same way Diddy does, but missing key details. It had fans saying it looked like someone was trying to be him, but didn't fully match the physical traits.
Behind the explosive documentary is Combs' longtime rival, Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, and director Alexandria Stapleton.
How did you get that footage of Diddy?
I figured most journalists would not disclose their sources.
The recordings give viewers an intimate look at Combs' mindset ahead of his criminal trial, even conversations with his legal team.
Does he know y'all have this in the doc?
I would doubt he knows.
So when this airs, that'll be the first time that his legal team, Diddy, that everybody knows that this footage is now seeing the light of day. Perhaps. What was he intending to use it for?
I have no idea what he was doing that for.
I mean, you know, you're talking about a man who films himself doing everything and has for decades. I think he wanted someone to be behind the scenes with him.
Combs' team firing back in a statement to NBC News today, saying the Netflix so-called documentary is a shameful hit piece and that they relied on stolen footage that was never authorized for release. His team sending a cease and desist to Netflix. Netflix referring NBC News to a statement from Stapleton in which she said they lawfully obtained the footage.
And once that footage hit the internet, social media went into detective mode instantly. People started comparing old photos, putting side by sides together, and questioning whether this was really Diddy or someone sent in to imitate him. Whether it's confusion, misidentification, or something deeper, this clip opened a door that nobody expected, and Kanye's comments only pushed that door even wider open. At the same time, the so-called Diddy inside the prison wasn't even moving like the real one. Fans started paying attention to the smallest details, and once they dug a little deeper, things got strange fast. People noticed that Diddy's private jet was still taking international trips while he was supposed to be locked down with zero freedom to move. The man is dealing with hundreds of civil cases and multiple criminal investigations.
Harley Pasternak has been working with every celebrity, from Ariana Grande to Jessica Simpson, from Mac Miller to Brittany Murphy. This man is everywhere, and there are major red flags. Like, why is an ex-government defense agent working as a nutritionist for the biggest celebrities? It really appears that Harley is a handler, and that's why celebrities like Kanye West has exposed him. For example, Kanye shared text messages showing Harley threatening him to drug him up like a zombie, send him away to a hospital, and keep him away from his kids.
Yet his jet was out here traveling like none of this existed. So naturally, everyone started asking the same question. If Diddy is behind bars, then who exactly is using his plane? Once people looked at the travel logs and matched them with court dates, the pattern got even more bizarre. The jet was allegedly flying to locations tied to business deals, offshore zones, celebrity hotspots, and international cities where Diddy used to handle business. Basically all the places the old Diddy would have visited himself, except the real Diddy was supposed to be sitting in a prison cell. That's when people started thinking this situation wasn't as simple as it looked. This is where Kanye jumps in strong. Last year he talked publicly about his own handler, Harley Pasternak, a fitness coach with government ties. According to Kanye, he warned that everybody in Hollywood has a handler and even said, if I ever disappear and come back, it's not me. So when Diddy vanished from the spotlight for nearly 2 years and then suddenly reappeared looking different, acting different, and moving different while someone else was allegedly flying his jet, people connected the dots quick. And let's not forget, Kanye stood by Diddy from day one during the trial. The moment Diddy's name came up in court, Kanye showed up the very next day, making it clear he wasn't turning his back on him.
He wasn't invited to these parties. Obviously, Cat Williams done talked about these parties. People will mention.
I don't know if it's a party. I'm saying that metaphorically. You know what I'm saying?
But you've heard about the parties that everyone is talking about. But you've never got invited to them. So you.
I don't know.
Really...
I don't know. I don't even know what the party. That's how far out of it I am. I don't know. But people call me Illuminati too. It's like, call me what? Okay, cool. I'm Illuminati. Then whatever it is. It's like whatever. I don't care. I really don't give a. I really don't give a.
There you have it.
Right in the middle. Kanye West. Kanye.
Kanye, why'd you show up today?
Hey guys, Aaron Katursky here from ABC. As if the trial of Sean Combs needed more spectacle, in walked Kanye West. He was inside for about 20 minutes. He didn't get into the courtroom. The guards made him go through security just like everybody else. He had to check his phone, and then he was taken up to the 24th floor to the overflow room. Now, I'm not sure if he didn't like it, didn't think it was the right vantage point for him, but he was only in there for a matter of minutes until he walked right back out. He was wearing this white, maybe canvas suit, and he told us that he was here to support Sean Combs. We're not sure that Combs' legal team wants him here for support or if he came on his own volition, but it certainly was a moment. While testimony was going on from Sean Combs' former assistant, a guy named Jonathan Perez, who was with him from 2021 to 2024, said he set up hotel nights that he referred to as king nights, brought the lights, brought the Astroglide, brought the baby oil. The jury saw a lot of pictures today, too, of things seized from Combs' Los Angeles mansion. 900 bottles of Astroglide lubricant. According to the HSI agent on the witness stand, the jury saw boxes of it, all stacked up in Combs' garage.
During that visit, Kanye even met with Christian and told him he would do whatever it took to help Diddy through this mess. That wasn't just a casual moment, that was Kanye making a statement in front of everybody. A few days later, Kanye talked directly to Diddy and even posted their conversation online. That move had the whole internet buzzing because people wanted to know why Kanye was so involved and what he knew that everybody else didn't. This is where everything takes a strange turn. Kanye was standing behind Diddy with full loyalty, but right after that private conversation they had, Kanye suddenly backed away like something spooked him. People started asking if Kanye heard something during that call, that made him switch his whole stance. Hollywood and cloning rumors have been floating around for years, and even though it sounds unbelievable, plenty of people in the industry treat it like a serious topic. Orlando Brown even claimed last year that Kanye had been cloned, and a surprising number of people agreed with him. Kanye himself has talked about cloning, especially when he made that comment about Elon Musk.
Yeah, I hear you. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Man, have some fucking fun.
Yeah.
Not having no fun and then get behind the mic, have some fun, chop up them samples, get back on hit there, vibes, have some fun, get back to smiling.
Yeah.
These other motherfuckers, they waste your time, big. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. He said, "Am I the only one who thinks Elon could be half Chinese? Have you ever seen his pics as a child? Take a Chinese genius and mate them with a South African supermodel, and we have an Elon." I say an Elon because they probably made 10 to 30 Elons, and he's the first genetic hybrid that stuck. When Kanye said that, the internet practically exploded with theories. But that wasn't the only time cloning came up in his circle. People even brought up former President Obama, and then Kristen Cavallari stepped in with her own thoughts. She used her podcast to speak on Kanye's cloning allegations and straight up said she believes celebrity clones are real. According to her, Kanye was replaced by an Illuminati clone, and she pointed to random changes in his appearance and that long period when he vanished from the public eye. She didn't just stop at Kanye either. She pushed the same theory about Britney Spears. Kristen said the person the public sees now might not even be the real Britney, and she claimed Britney reached out to her privately before allegedly disappearing again. And let's be honest, when was the last time someone like Britney Spears personally reached out to shut down a rumor? That alone made people feel like something deeper was going on.
Actually realize like how there's a taller Kanye and a smaller Kanye, taller Kanye and a smaller. They're fighting for who's gonna be Kanye. They're fighting for who's gonna be Kanye, dude, right in front of you. And it's like, yo, bro, leave my brother alone.
So Orlando is claiming that there were two Kanyes, but he isn't new to crazy claims, so he may not be the most reliable source. After this claim made by Orlando Brown and all the controversies he was in, Kanye shared a message from his personal trainer Harley Pasternak that was quite haunting. This is the guy Kanye was with when he was first taken to the hospital and given meds for his bipolar disorder. Harley has worked with many celebrities, including many people who have died to drug-related incidents like Mac Miller and Britney Murphy. This has led theorists to believe that Pasternak may have had a hand in these people's deaths.
So when you stack all these claims next to what's happening with Diddy, the picture gets even stranger. Diddy already has a long history of being connected to federal investigations, and people have been saying for years that he wasn't navigating those situations alone. So now when folks see his private jet flying around the world, Kanye pulling back, and cloning rumors circling the industry again, it makes the whole situation look like something much bigger is happening behind the scenes. He had strong connections in high places, and if certain people truly wanted something handled, they absolutely had the ability to make it happen. Diddy wasn't just a music mogul, he had enough influence to get the attention of the President of the United States when he needed a pardon.
Kanye West calls Twitter chief Elon Musk a half-Chinese clone engineered like Obama.
Boom!
Musk says he's taking West's comment as a compliment.
That's great. That's great. Well, there you go.
You let him back on Twitter. Jesus Christ.
Enough already.
Well, just, yeah, he's not right, but duh.
Which says everything about the level he operated on. So if he had the power to reach that far into political circles, who's to say he couldn't arrange for someone else to step into his place? When a person has that level of access, it's not hard to imagine them shaping public perception about who is actually sitting behind bars. And we're not talking about a regular celebrity with a little fame. This is someone who spent decades building influence across multiple industries. Diddy had a network that stretched from entertainment to politics to finance.
Kristen Cavallari, renowned hip-hop critic, is weighing in on Kanye West. This just seems bizarre, and especially because the way she's not actually, I guess she is sort of waxing, she's remembering the good old days with Kanye. And she seems to think that the Kanye we're seeing now is not the same Kanye. I don't mean that.
Like literally a different person.
She's talking clones. Why? We'll get into that, but here's her theory.
Kanye is a clone. I wholeheartedly believe what I'm about to say. I think there are clones, and I'm gonna tell you why. Remember, he was really talking a lot. The cabal didn't like that, you know? The Illuminati, the cabal, they did not like how much he was saying. He was calling a lot of people out, and he said, If I go away and I come back and I look different, that is not me.
If I ever went anywhere, we know why.
What happened? He was gone for a little while. No, hold on.
He wanted to gain weight. I would do that too. I'm going to do that next summer.
Look at him. Compare old photos of him. It's not the same person. It's not. Don't cancel me, Hollywood.
I don't know if Hollywood's going to cancel her, but you know who did cancel her, which I'm sure actually feeds into Kristen's conspiracy theory?
Who?
TikTok. That clip from her podcast she posted it on TikTok, and they took it down. In fact, did they shut down her whole page?
No, they took that post down. And I mean, this is just gonna feed into more of these crazy conspiracy theories. Obviously, TikTok took it down because it was a community guideline violation. That's what they're saying.
Well, what guideline? Talking about the Illuminati?
I mean the fact that that she's talking about a conspiracy theory and her only evidence is that he looks different.
With resources stacked in every direction and enough money to push almost any plan forward, people forget how deep his business ties went and how much leverage he used to hold in private rooms.
I'm obviously on to something. I'm on to something.
Kristen Cavallari is trying to set the record straight about comments she made about Britney Spears after the Hills alum recently shared on her Let's Be Honest podcast that she believed the Lucky singer was a clone. Kristen reveals on her November 5th episode of her podcast she received an interesting request.
I get a call from my publicist. Okay, so he calls me and he goes, "Guess who wants your phone number?" And I went, "Who?" "Britney Spears." And I'm going, what? I'm not gonna lie though, at first you guys, because okay, if you didn't listen to the last episode Justin and I did, go listen. But we talked about Hollywood conspiracies and I said, my big thing was Kanye West, I think, is a clone, but also I said Britney is not Britney.
The 37-year-old who previously met Spears at her Las Vegas residency in 2014 explains that she felt the pop legend had heard about the comments she made on her podcast and wanted to dispel the rumors.
So my initial reaction was, I was scared. I'm not gonna lie. I was honestly like, oh my God.
Like you thought it was the Illuminati or the Cabal?
Like they're on to me, man, okay? They didn't like that podcast episode. So I'm like, give her my number. Like, great.
Kristen explains that she and her publicist were then put into a group text with Britney and her manager.
Her manager puts us on a group chat and says like, oh, ladies, like, or he called us icons. But
gotta get that
two
in there.
icons coming together, blah, blah, blah. And then Britney sent me a text and I'm not going to read it. I would love to read it. Just take my word.
Why
on
would you
that.
love to read it? Because I know why you would love to read it.
It was a bit of a roller coaster.
And it was like, no, that's Britney Spears. Nobody can fake that that's not, or it's the Britney Spears that's put out to us right now. Because it was
Or
like
it's
one
her
big run-on
clone.
sentence.
Or it's her clone. Her clone let me know that she's not a clone. That's a red flag. Only a clone would say something like that.
Most of the world never hears about. With that kind of reach, he wasn't moving like your average public figure. He was playing a whole different game. Even his own lawyer hinted that Diddy had a strategy that nobody would see coming. So now people are wondering if this was what he meant. Was he referring to some kind of backup plan that would shift everything at the last second? Something that would keep Diddy out of the worst part of this mess while distracting the public with a different storyline?
And so now we have two people come out saying that Diddy was talking to the feds. Do you think that's true?
Whether it's true or not, and he might have been cooperative in some way, shape, or form, you don't get away with human trafficking unless you give up John Gotti or something like that, and that's not what happened here. I can tell you, Jesse, that this investigation's been going on for a long time, very closely held by HSI, so much so that even some of the agents on the raid a week ago today didn't know whose house they were raiding until they got there. That's how closely held this
Wow, because there could have been a tip.
Absolutely.
And there are allegations that he was paying law enforcement through his chief of security, which also happened to be Michael Jackson's chief of security.
I don't know if I buy into that. You know, people in Diddy's situation like to have those involved in law enforcement close to them. But that doesn't mean they're taking payoffs. That doesn't mean they're doing big favors. They like that closeness. It's just like how Diddy was able to court Diageo or Estee Lauder. He was very successful in doing that, and that made him a lot of money and gave him credibility outside the hip-hop rap world. And that's what he was trying to do here, a lot like what Epstein did with very powerful political and business figures.
You gotta realize one thing, that boy life is dangerous. His life isn't, and he's just not dangerous with the shit they said he was doing, but he's in danger. He know too much. One thing you gotta realize is he probably having a conversation right now with the higher ups and everybody else to figure out how it's gonna work itself out. Because he know all the secrets. And if he get to run his mouth, it could be a bad look. I look at it like the most important thing is the industry needs to be built over. You have all these executives because somebody was their father, their grandfather, or all these type of stuff, and they don't give people the opportunity to grow and learn. I know when I first started in this business, it wasn't a machine. I had to be the machine. I had to figure out how to get my songs on the radio. Because at that time, they was getting 5%, and they got 10%, they was popping champagne bottles. I went from 95% of the songs you hear on the radio was my songs into 97%. So you had to really do all this thing and really do the work.
Let's be real, Diddy had enough money to pay someone to take his place, and if he felt boxed in, he was ready to do whatever he had to do to protect his future. With the way things have unfolded, it's no surprise people think there might have been a bigger plan in motion from the start.
Diddy could be a free man by the end of this week. We broke a story last night that Donald Trump is seriously considering commuting his sentence. And there has been a lot of fallout with our story.
By the way, commuting his sentence before he's even in a prison.
Right.
He's still at Brooklyn MDC waiting to find out which prison he's going to. But this is something that President Trump is considering. And the fact that he's considering it is causing a bit of an internal war at the White House because not everybody in the administration thinks this is a good idea.
So we are told this. And this is coming from somebody high up in the White House. We broke that story, incidentally, that right after the sentencing, his legal team, Diddy's legal team, got in touch with somebody who had the president's ear, and that the president was looking at the paperwork.
And the president acknowledged that
like 2 days later.
Yeah, in the Oval Office.
2 days later. Yeah. So we now know that Trump is considering, we're told that he's kind of waffling. He's going back and forth on this, but there are staffers in the White House telling him, don't do it. So we put this story up last night.
50 Cent's new Netflix docuseries pushes this whole situation even further. The leaked footage shown in the series includes a moment from before the trial where Diddy is heard telling his legal team to track down the most corrupt person they could find.
I know is everything that I read in that article looked accurate.
Well, look, that's probably some relief to Diddy's team, you know. And
I don't know. I think they're moving ahead. I don't think anybody is counting on anything, and
right.
I think the reporting was accurate.
How did you hear he's faring since the sentencing?
I don't know. I mean, I hopefully we'll see him soon and find out.
I guess lastly, I would ask, what do you think his future looks like?
I have the utmost confidence in Sean. I think Sean will make a comeback the likes of which people are not expecting. So I've watched him over. I've known him for a long time. I have the utmost confidence in him.
In whatever sphere. I mean, he's done business, the music,
he's iconic
the
in a lot of ways, and I think he'll make a comeback. I'll leave it at that.
And use that person's influence to help him. When people saw that clip, they immediately started asking themselves,
never before seen footage of Sean Diddy Combs in the days leading up to his arrest in New York last September.
You want to put stuff in my fanny pack, King?
The exclusive video obtained by Netflix shows Combs debating with his lawyers about strategy.
Listen to me. I'm going to get off the phone right now, and I am going to let you professionals look at the situation and come back to me with a solution. No matter what, no matter what nobody said. Let's just, here and there, y'all are not working together the right way. We're losing.
The footage is part of a new, highly anticipated docuseries by director Alex Stapleton and rapper and executive producer Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, titled Sean Combs: The Reckoning. Was there anything that surprised you when you were watching?
I think it was surprising that he actually filmed it.
It was very interesting to watch a man who's known for his brand presence. You know, he has a really amazing knack for marketing and all of that, and how he was sort of taking that into account in how he was coming off to the public.
The exclusive video also shows Combs in Harlem greeting fans.
Off my back, bro. Long as you win. I'm gonna win. Long as you win, we win it. I'll accept it. I need some hand sanitizer. Hold on. I got. I've been out in the streets amongst the people. Yeah, I gotta take a bath. Like the amount of people that actually I'm coming in contact with. Like that's what I have to do. You know what I'm saying? It's like 150 hugs.
You're a public person as well, and there was one instance in Harlem, and his reaction when those people
went away.
Got in
the car and said, I feel like I need to wash, like I'm dirt. That was, it shows you his character.
Was that the reason for including it?
Yeah, I mean, what's the odds that you would do that in front of the camera?
Let people know that the show is not completely the perspectives of people that did not like Sean. We weren't trying to just get the highlights, the salacious details, you know, that the real goal was to storytell. And not everyone needed to have an allegation to be a part of this project.
The 4-part series also features 2 jurors from Combs' trial who are speaking for the first time about how they reached their mixed verdict, finding Combs guilty of 2 prostitution offenses, but clear of racketeering and trafficking charges, both sharing their thoughts on the relationship between Combs and singer Cassie. Juror 75 describing them as 2 people in love, and Juror 160 saying in part, domestic violence wasn't one of the charges. Cassie, is she a victim in all this?
I believe Cassie's a victim in all this because she came in she's like 18, like 19 years old. In the very beginning, after a while, over time, you condition for it.
The goal of what the film is trying to do is to let the audience kind of come in to ask questions like, were their decisions colored by certain things, and who got the benefit of the doubt, you know, in that courtroom?
Do you think that hip-hop culture was on trial as much as Sean Combs was?
Look, if I didn't say anything, you would interpret it as hip-hop is fine with his behaviors.
If he was willing to look for someone like that, couldn't he also find a person willing to take his place in prison? It made the entire conversation around these rumors explode even more. And of course, Diddy's lawyers are doing everything in their power to shut this docuseries down. They've been sending statements left and right calling the series a shameful and disgraceful hit job, saying Netflix relied on stolen or unauthorized footage Diddy had been filming since he was 19 for his own life story.
This Diddy documentary isn't even out yet, and Diddy is mad as hell. Diddy's crisis PR manager put out statements to the media outlets claiming that the never-before-seen videos that are in the Netflix documentary were stolen. He's claiming that the one of him talking to his lawyers about doing dirty business was never meant to see the light of day. So you know what? Let's go ahead and hear what he said one more time.
We have to find somebody that'll work with us that has dealt in the dirtiest of dirty business. We're losing.
Diddy is also pissed that 50 Cent is the one that created this documentary, calling it a shameful hit piece, and he said it's crazy that 50 Cent got to work on this documentary when he has had a personal vendetta against Diddy for years. Already know while Diddy is sweating, 50 Cent literally doesn't care. He has still been trolling on his social media all day long. Media outlets are sharing how 50 Cent posted that Diddy's publicist was saying nasty things about him and he just didn't want to go to Diddy's parties. He captioned it, "Netflix is concerned that their servers may not be able to handle everyone watching at once at 12 a.m. Eastern time it goes live." Now, even though Diddy is accusing Netflix and the team of stealing this unseen video footage that is in this documentary, the team hit back pretty quickly. They said in a statement that this video footage came to them and they did everything legally to acquire this video footage. And that they basically own all of the rights of this unseen video footage that is about to be in this Netflix doc. Probably one of the funniest things that I saw in these statements from Diddy's PR team is the fact that he didn't want these video clips of him talking to this lawyer out for the public to be able to see. You didn't want this clip of you talking to your lawyers viewed by the public? Why were you having somebody film you at all? Some of the video footage, Diddy admits that he hired people to film him because he wanted to use it in his own
His team insists the platform twisted his personal archives into something designed to take him down. They're trying hard to make people believe nothing in that series should be trusted, but 50 Cent is standing firm behind every single detail in the project. He made it clear he's not backing down, and he even dismissed the rumors that he created the docuseries out of revenge. According to him, this wasn't about payback. It was about exposing the truth and letting people see what was really going on behind the scenes. So now you have one side calling the series a hit piece and the other side saying the footage speaks for itself. And with the way the internet is reacting, it's clear that this battle is far from over. He made it clear this wasn't some personal score he was trying to settle. This was about exposing the truth and showing the world who Diddy really is when the cameras, the PR teams, and the polished image all fall away. Someone who actually watched the full docuseries even said that if the public knew what was in those episodes, everything people thought they understood about Diddy would flip upside down.
Watch this and think that you really hate Sean Combs.
Why would they be thinking that?
Because of the things that you post on Instagram,
Yeah,
because
but this,
of the...
Look at this. And let's stop for a second and do say that I hated him enough to hire his kids. And we've never done anything to each other. So it's just competitive energy and things that you say about other artists while you're in hip-hop culture.
This documentary is one of several that has chronicled Combs' rise and fall. But Stapleton says theirs is different.
There's a lot of new information. No one had ever really put it together like that before.
For 50 Cent, he says he feels a sense of obligation.
Well, you know, if I didn't say anything, you could assume that all of hip-hop culture is comfortable with his actions.
What else can you tell us about it?
So there's a lot more of this never-before-seen footage, Tom, of Combs having really private conversations with his legal team, and you really get a sense of his mindset ahead of his criminal trial, which is really fascinating for me because he never did any sit-down interviews ahead of the trial. So you finally get to see what his strategy was and how worried he was. But clearly, perhaps he didn't think that he was going to go to prison because he's filming this documentary. You're also going to hear from Aubrey O'Day. She was in the girl band Danity Kane as part of making the band. She has an explosive allegation against Combs. And then there's quite a bit that focuses on the murders of Biggie and Tupac, and people from Combs' inner circle raising a lot of questions. People are going to also have a lot to say about that.
And if even half of what they're talking about is real, Hollywood might be sitting on some of the biggest secrets it has ever kept hidden. So now the real questions start to hit hard. Is Diddy really sitting in that prison cell right now? Or did someone pull off one of the wildest switches in celebrity history? Is Kanye speaking the truth, or is he shaking the room to make people look deeper? And how far does this whole thing reach? Between talk of body doubles, Kardashian's quiet negotiations, and whispers about federal deals, the situation feels like it's stretching way beyond just one celebrity. One thing is for sure, this story isn't fading away anytime soon. The more people dig, the stranger everything looks, and every new detail opens another door. If you're intrigued by all this, make sure to like, subscribe, share, and drop a comment below, and I'll see you on the next one.